So Paul, Stuey Hall up next on September the 30th. How are you looking forward to the fight?
Really looking forward to it. It's a fight that I can actually get up for. My last 7 fights have just been 8-10 rounders. WBO European, one of them, WBO International. They still don't really get me up for it really. I need a big fight, a name, and Stuey Hall's a name, especially in Britain, and he's boxed a few good kids himself. He's been a former world champion himself. Boxed the likes of Jamie McDonald, Lee Haskins twice. So
and his last fight with Lee Haskins was a close one.
I thought he just nicked it. To be honest, it was close. He did leave it late for a push, but if he started a little bit earlier, I feel he could have stopped him. But I think Haskins was out on his feet, and I think the scorecards were a little bit wide that night.
Yeah, but that shows the sort of this is the world level fight, isn't it?
A few people have said to me, Haskins, he's old. Sorry, not Haskins. Hall, he's shot, he's finished, and I say, just look at not his last performance, because he boxed on the Next Gen show, but his last proper big fight was Lee Haskins. It was arguably one of his best performances, especially after 4 rounds onwards.
Yeah.
I thought he looked really good.
That was a world title fight.
That was a world title fight, so he's far from done. I know he's saying it. This is last chance. If he loses, he'll retire, and mark my words, he will be retiring after this, because he's not going to meet the same Paul Butler he met 3 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, I was just about to ask, how have you changed as a boxer since the last time you fought him?
Well, the way I see it is like when I went head to head with him 3 years ago, I felt like I was looking up to him, and it was like a boy versus a man, and when we got in there, I was pinching rounds off him. This time, I went head to head with him on Monday, and I felt every bit as big as him. I felt like if we were to go now, like, I'd more than hold my own with him. Like, I could stand there with him and have it with him. I felt every bit as big as him standing next to him. So this time it's definitely man versus old man, and I'm going to show him on the 30th of September that I'm a proper bantamweight now. I'm not a super flyweight coming up to bantam to go back down to super fly, because we had to do a lot of strength and conditioning to build up to a bantamweight last time, but I couldn't do too much because I knew I was making super flyweight again eventually. Even then you had in your mind you're going to bounce up to bantamweight. I was always going back down. I was always advised. Before he even won the world title, I got asked if he was to win on the night. Actually, he boxed was it Malinga?
Yeah.
He beat Malinga, and I got asked on that night, if he wins tonight, would you go up to come back down to make history? And I said, yeah. I said, just if he wins tonight, I said, get me the fight, I'll take the fight and I'll come back down. Looking back now, it's the worst mistake in my career. I should have stayed at bantamweight. You should never give up a world title. I was wrongly managed, and I regret doing what I've done. I should have stayed where I was. I'd have had a tough fight with Randy Caballero the next one, but Stuey Hall also had a tough fight with him, so I wouldn't have been too far away with that one.
Because it's sort of been a difficult couple of years since that fight, really.
Yeah, well, since that fight I lost to Tete, and then I got myself back in contention. I moved to Oliver. I had a final eliminated for the WBO title, and I failed weight. Couldn't box that night. Obviously, because someone released something in the press about a sauna, so I couldn't box that night. So it just stalled from there, really. Back to an 8-rounder, back to a 10-rounder, going nowhere. And it's been pretty much that right the way through. So now I've signed with Eddie. We've got a big fight straight away, and there's actually light at the end of the tunnel. I know where I'm going after this fight. We've got Jamie McDonald or Solis, so future's looking good.
Yeah. What do you think of Jamie McDonald and Solis? Or what do you think is going to be the sort of next?
I think last time he was very, very lucky to keep hold of his title. I thought he lost it convincingly, 3 or 4 rounds. I thought he had a great Solis that night. It's if Solis can perform to that level again, but I think you're going to get a better Jamie this time. I think Jamie knows exactly what he's going into. I think Jamie wins this one, and I think I beat I think I either stop Hall late, because I'll be a lot better prepared this time. I'm a lot bigger, I'm a lot stronger. Be able to sit down on my shots going down the home straight instead of nicking rounds and running. I say running, pinching rounds, being on the back foot because he was so much bigger. You'd either get a late stoppage or a real convincing win at proper domination. And then we push on for the winner, which I believe will be Jamie, which is a fight I've wanted for a long time now.
What do you think of McDonnell as a fighter? Like, where do you see the sort of strengths and the weaknesses in him?
Well, I think with Jamie, when you look at him and you go through his record and you think, oh, he's beat some good kids there, he's good. And you think, how's he beating him? Like Kameda twice. Kameda's a good fighter, but he's beat him twice, and you think, how's he done that? But I think it's his fit, because when you watch Jamie, it's like you don't think, wow, that was good. Like when you're watching Mayweather and he rides a shot and you don't see that with Jamie. You just think he just grinds, wins out, and he always finds a way to win. He's long, he's fit, and I think he's an awkward night work for anyone.
Because you've got to be super fit to take him on, don't you?
Yeah. See, you say super fit, I think, like if you watch Kameda in stages, he controls the fight with a jab. Obviously, we were close to making the Jamie McDonnell fight, and we were studying that fight quite a lot because I'm sort of like Kameda. I like to hold the centre, boom, lead off the jab, and Kameda does that well. But then Kameda lets him in with silly right hands, and he lets Jamie take over the pace of the fight with a jab. I think the second performance is better than the first one in the Kameda fights. So there is ways around slowing Jamie down and offsetting him, and we worked a lot on that in sparring.
Who have you been sparring with?
Well, we was sparring with Boy Jones
Okay.
up until a few weeks ago, until the change with Warren. But we've got 9 weeks now to the Hall fight, and I think Boy Jones is a little bit too tall for Stuey Hall. When me and Stuey Hall go head to head, he's only an inch or so eye level bigger than me. It's just the size of his head that makes him look so much bigger than me. But yeah, there's not much difference between me and Stuey Hall apart from obviously his forehead's massive compared to mine.
Do you feel there's a bit of sort of, because obviously you've fought before, do you think there's a bit of sort of needle or hostility?
I think there will be as the fight gets closer. He was pretty respectful the other day on Monday at the press conference, but I seen an interview afterwards saying every fight he seems to lose, he always seems to think he won, or there's always an excuse of him, like, oh, I started late there. But the Haskins fight, I watched the interview before, after the fight he goes, I started a little bit late there, but I thought I nicked it. He says the other day in an iFilm London, I was unlucky against Caballero. Just take defeat on the chin and bounce back. Like, he's still getting the big fights, so don't be so bitter about them.
Yeah.
But I don't get it with him. He's like, every loss he seems to, like, he still thinks he won the Haskins first fight. I thought he won the second one. I thought that the judges were a bit harsh, but just let them go and concentrate on your next one.
Yeah. And I suppose it's quite a while to go to the fight. What's sort of training camp going to be like in the build-up? Are you sort of taking things easier at the moment, and is it going to get harder and harder?
Well, we're just conditioning at the moment. I'm fit because I had the McDonnell. I was training for like 2 months for the McDonnell fight. I had a week's holiday and we've come back in and just conditioning ourselves again, starting on the 800 metre sprints. Back to pad work, bag work, bar bag, getting fit, and then next week we're starting our sparring. So it'd be nice to get a few weeks sparring and then back to the sprints. Shorten the sprints from the 800s down to the 400s, down to the 200s as the fight gets closer.
And you've been training with Joe for quite a while now.
Nearly a year now, yeah.
Yeah. So how have you changed over the course of that year?
I think I'm controlling a fight a lot more now. It's not about throwing. Like when I was under Arnie, it was like I'd go back to the ropes and I'd have like the Mayweather shoulder there, and they'd fire shots at me, and I'd unload 5, 6, 7, and 2 would be landing instead of. I'm controlling a fight a lot better. I'm I'm jabbing to the head, jabbing to the body, finding openings. It's not all about firing loads of shots and like trying to look good that way. It's about opening gaps, and I think I'm a lot more rounded fighter this time now. My hands are up, I'm nice and tight, I'm riding shots a lot better, I'm not getting caught as much as I used to.
Wow.
So I think I'm learning every day in the gym with Joe, and I think that's what it's about. I'm always watching the likes of Callum Smith, Anthony Corolla, so I've got them type of people around me as well that I'm learning from as well. If I'm not learning off Joe while I'm on the pads or on the bag, because he's constantly standing over us on the bag as well, people say, oh, they just get stuck on the bag, but we don't. He's over us, and it's the hardest bag work you'll do. So if I'm not learning on the bag or pads or with Joe over me, I'm watching a spar and I'm watching Callum Smith, world class operator, Anthony Corolla. You could go through the whole gym here and everyone's got something different about them. Liam Smith, I love watching Liam Smith on the inside, brilliant, you're always learning something there. Callum, long range fighter, he's also just as good inside as well. Yeah. So I feel like I'm learning every day.
So it's not just, the fitness levels here, it's the technical stuff that you're all learning.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like I am learning technically every day, but the fitness side of it as well is. I remember coming here and the heating was on. The heating's horrible when it's on. I'd had 8 weeks out the gym. I'd left Oliver. We had nowhere to go. I'd been on holiday. I remember my first day in. He stuck me on bar bag. He tries to break you, Joe. And he stuck me on bar bag for the first day. Heating was on. It was roasting, middle of the summer. I remember Beefy having to say to Joe, "Hey Joe, he's been away at festivals and he hasn't been in the gym for 8 weeks." And Joe just looked at me and went, "Haven't you?" I went, "I haven't been in the gym for ages, like." And he just went, "Carry on." But I like that, because I like to go home and know I've done a hard day's graft. Like, all this week, apart from Monday because I was at a press conference, we've trained twice a day, and I've gone home after the 2 sessions and I fell asleep for a couple of hours. So I know I'm putting it in, and he's proper pushing us. Like, track work on Tuesday was hard. We're all working off heart rate monitors now, so he's timing our recovery, so your heart rate will go up to like 175. And we time it till it gets down to 140. You can't go on the next lap till it's 140. But I'm quite fit. I'm like down to like 25 seconds, 30 seconds, and we're going again. And some of the, like Scott Cardle the other day, he finished his last 800 metres on the track, and his heart rate was 4.5 minutes. Joe stood there for ages just waiting for his heart rate to come down. So I'm fit, I'm ready, but it's about getting the sparring and being. Not pushing me too much. Like yesterday I wanted to do more on the track and Joe said, "No, you've done enough. We're 9 weeks out, you're fit enough now." But it's about not peaking too early. It's about getting everything right at the right time.
Excellent. Well, on that note, I'll leave you in peace, but thank you very much for your time.